All right, we got another match here. We're gonna load this one up. Hopefully, we'll do a bit better here in this one. I haven't gotten rid of Sharena yet because I feel like this team still has a lot of usability, even though she misses so many kills these days. I'm probably gonna have to commit to giving her either momentum or assassin strike, one of the two, to get the extra damage, because she really is missing out on it right now, or these days I want to say. Things have gotten so much more tanky that it's just not making any sense to use her without it. You know what's crazy?
I'll deliver.
My Brave Alm has like 80 something attack. I think I'm exaggerating. 70 something attack, and he consistently does 0 damage. Like, the combat screen will say 25 times 2, and it will just end up being 0. And I'm just like, what is even the point? Like, does my attack stat even matter? And it just goes to show that he doesn't have Assassin Strike equipped, but then he also has Sense Scale equipped, but he's still not doing any damage, even though he's getting that true damage from, is it based off attack or something? I forget what it's based off, but he needs Assassin Strike to actually do damage, and that's just crazy to me. That's how bulky things are, because Brave Alm hits really hard, even into dragon units. He's still doing 0 times 2 after the combat screen will show you like 50 or something crazy. It still ends up being like 0, which is just ridiculous. So I've been really just considering what to do with his build. I saw this really cool build I think I showed off in the last SDS video with momentum, life and death. I don't remember what the C skill was, probably Insight or something. Insight, to make him an AoE spammer. And I thought maybe that should be the route that I go with him, but he doesn't have Slaying, so you gotta figure that out. Granted, the one that I saw did have, who was it? Tamara's Time Pulse Echo, which helped in that situation, or helped overall with the Slaying problem.
Would you escort us?
But I think that might have to be the route that I go with him for now. He'll always be good because of the Dragon Effective weapon and the sweep effect. So those two things will always work out in his favor. Brave Alm specifically. Even, Brave Marth to an extent will always have usability when it comes to just being able to take out dragons. They're never going to leave the meta. The only problem is having the number in the combat display actually matter at the end of the combat. Which means that he's going to need some type of B skill or something to have that translate to actual damage. I guess that's one of the main reasons that I had to swap out Hannah, OG Hannah, that had the Armor Slayer and the weapon has armor effective damage. I had to swap her out for what's the weapon called? Arcane Devourer, because she was showing damage, or like, her weapon, because it's armor effective, it would show like, and she had like 70 something attack, it would show like with life and death, of course, it would show like, I don't know, 50 damage into Brave Edelgard, and it ends up being 0 times 2, which was just ridiculous. So I had to swap it out for the Arcane Devourer, because the numbers just weren't doing what they were supposed to do anymore.
I'll deliver.
Because of the damage reduction, and it's just insane at this point. I've given Brave Edelgard Slick Fighter because it has the guaranteed follow-up, and the damage reduction based off, 20% of her defense, and her defense is pretty nuts. Just to see if it'll help her in terms of survivability.
I'll handle it.
And longevity. I matched her up against Felix though, and it did not help in the slightest. Did not matter. She still got absolutely destroyed by Brave Felix. So I don't know. I don't really think there's any point in giving your Brave Edelgard any other skill aside from Shield Fighter. That's probably the only thing that matters for her. Probably, I don't know if I want to say that you should probably start thinking about swapping out her weapon for whatever comes out in the probably down the line, probably more than likely be better than what she currently has. But yeah, Shield Fighter or nothing with Brave. Kind of the same thing with Brave Hector. I felt like I gave Brave Hector Shield Fighter, and his problem currently is that he does 0 damage consistently with Shield Fighter. So he needs a way to do damage into units. Like, he can survive Felix and, you know, a ton of other stuff, but he just doesn't do any damage in retaliation, and that's just not good. Not only that, he needs a way to get some type of true damage at this point. So his weapon just is really lacking at this point. So if you want to just use him to tank things, he can do that with Shield Fighter, but you're not going to get any damage back out of him. Especially against things that quad. He'll probably die. Like, I've seen him die to Valencia and units that can quad, so GG's, let's play another one, man. Okay. Another tree man, and this time I have the team set up to deal with it. The only thing that it really needed was Celine or, you know, Micaiah, but Celine works a lot better because her support is within 3 spaces and not 2. The main thing that you want to get rid of is the flash effect. Well, not really for Micaiah. What am I saying? Not for Sita. This Sita. He has NCD Echo. The main thing that I want to get off her is Sabotage, but I don't know if, like, there's a lot of debuffs here, so I don't know, like, priority-wise, which one will get removed while she's in combat. So I'm just gonna have to roll the dice and hope she survives, which I think she should. Yeah, just gonna roll the dice. The Flash is gonna get eaten by, I'm gonna put Neathhogger there, and she will be the closest unit, and then Sita will just take care of everything else by herself. The only ranged threat is Celica, and I think that's fine. Sita will survive, Neathhogger will survive Celica. Even if Neathhogger can't counterattack into Celica, she'll still live, which is, like, Celica's fall off is legendary, man. Like, again, she's one of those units that shows like 50, 60 times 2 and still ends up doing 0 damage, which is like, the numbers just don't matter, man. Like, if she's like not doing 80 damage, 90 damage consistently, like, she's just not gonna actually take anything out, which is really sad. I don't know what they're gonna do to fix this current state of the game. It can't just be, I think I've said this before, it can't just be release a stronger nuke to nuke harder, because the units that we currently have do hit hard, but the damage just doesn't, it's not connecting, it's not sticking. So there needs to be some type of effect or something that either neutralizes or reduces or ignores, so that we can get back usage out of her nukes that we've had sitting in her barracks for the last 6 months, not being able to do anything because everything is just so tanky. It's really unfortunate. Like, they're doing a really, I don't know how to describe it, but they're really trying hard to not release any powerful nukes. Like, I know that we got Ather coming up, and she's supposed to be like an AoE spammer. I'm looking at what she could potentially do with Lagu's friend. And let's say Glacies, because her res is mad high. But I am just not convinced by her as a combat unit. Slow, she gives me a lot of shades of Asker, New Year's Asker. And he was overall just a better frontline nuke overall. I don't think she's gonna be able to fulfill that same role as well as New Year's Asker did, but I do think she's gonna be good. But yeah, I really was hoping for an actual nuke that could player phase, blow stuff up, but we didn't get that, and which is why I was saying that I don't think we're gonna get an actual nuke until Valentine's. So I don't know why they're gatekeeping all of the nukes like so hard. It's been months. It's been months. I want to say Shez, but like, that's just one unit. There needs to be a banner where they just give us like 3-4 nukes so that we can have some variety
I can do this.
to actually play into things and be able to do stuff. I would say that, you know, a banner like that is going to be coming up soon, but because of what Lynn does, I don't think they're... I feel like they put out Emblem Lynn, and the thought behind it was that she's strong enough, you guys don't need any other nukes for a while. And that's truly just not the case. Because the way how you use Emblem Lynn,
They will submit.
it's not like... what I want to say, it's not proactive. It's a lot of just sitting there and sniping things, and I don't really enjoy. I feel like it's an even worse playstyle than
I'll protect
save
you.
balling, than tanking, because you actually have to, you know, put your units into a certain position to tank stuff. Whereas with Emblem Lynn, you just set her up wherever she starts and blow something up, and you do that for 3 turns, and it's pretty much GG's. I don't like that. I really don't like that. It doesn't take a lot of thinking or organization or anything at all. Where you start is where you finish, and that just isn't encouraging in terms of like actually playing the game. So I really don't like that as a mechanic that they're going to be banking the future of this game on, but that seems to be where we're getting at. Yeah, I don't like it. Don't like it at all, and it's going to be a big reason why we don't get powerful nukes for a while. I feel like they're going to just say that, hey, we gave you Lynn, you don't need anything else, and that just isn't the case. I was really hoping to avoid Ather a little bit more, but he's coming over, so I'm gonna have to figure it out, because I don't want to be tanking this Emblem Ike when he's around. Luckily, I think we can get another turn with Neathhogger being up front, and even if it doesn't reach, which it should, because she is still the closest, I have 2 mages besides Sita, and they're no more ranged units, so I can go all the way up if I want to. The problem is I don't like those combat forecasts, and the healing tower is a little bit too close, and I want them to get out of that range. Also want to set up to get the pot, so let's play this a bit slow and steady. Yeah, let's play this a bit slow and steady, and we'll be able to get out of here with the W. This one is definitely winnable at this point. And this is, you know, another reason why I don't think it's worth giving Treeman a save skill, because he just does so well when he's able to just sit there and be menacing, because he's prevented me from warping like up close to him right now, because I would have, you know, just probably warped Neathhogger over there, but he's really just stopping me from doing a lot of stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna chill. I think that's probably the right play for now. But yeah,
Understood.
Hathern, I think there's nothing like you're gonna get out of this new Hathern that you haven't already experienced. She looks pretty much just to be a reskin of regular Hathern. So the thing that really blew me away was the size of the terrain. That was really massive, the terrain effect. It gives, I feel like it's even bigger than Lumera's terrain effect. And it really makes her, the grass terrain, it gives it some amount of usage because of the size of it.
I can do this.
It's really going to be good at overriding other terrain effects, but it sucks because it's tied to the dual button, which you won't have access to in most Ether Raids games.
Count on me.
So yeah, that's probably the only positive thing that I took away from seeing her on that banner. Aside from that, she's just going to be another AoE nuke, and at some point that will fall off as well. Pretty quickly too. I don't think it's going to stick around for very long. You don't even see AoE nukes currently, like running around and blowing stuff up. It's not like that big of a thing. And also her perf skill is in her C skill, which means you can't run cancel control on her, and as an infantry unit, not being able to run cancel control is a big deterrent, because it's one of the slots on the team that needs to be filled, or that you want to be filled, to have a, you know, good defense. Unless you're okay with being able to chase down the enemy, and in order to do that, you need Felix and Sigurd because they're really the only ones that can chase. So otherwise, you really need Kansas control, so she is limiting your ability to like team build. So yeah, not like the hugest fan of her. I guess you can probably use her in Light and Dark season, but it's whatever. I don't know. I probably won't. Let's see what happens with that when the banner comes out. The one that probably impressed me the most was Hearthfulger. I love the fact that she is green. Some variability there in terms of just matchups. So you get 2 teams with Hearthfulger, and I think I said it before, every other melee flyer is just like, in comparison to Hearthfulger, there's no point in using any other melee flyer. I'm looking at like Mia. She's probably the most recent one. Even Tana, that's on the same banner. Like, why bother using her? I mean, yeah, you know, you can warp to her, but in this meta, warping, please. So yeah, Hearthfulger definitely the standout for me on that banner in terms of like being able to actually contribute in combat. She will actually do damage, and the damage will stick. I don't know at what point they'll start giving out weapon refines or just rearmed weapons that have combinations or that have a combination of effects similar to what Hearthfulger is able to do, because that's really what you need from a unit at this point in the game to actually do damage. And it's a lot of stuff in her weapon, also her ski skill, that is, you know, allowing her to be a really good combat unit. Even like, I'd probably even want to say, looking at Alphonse, Brave Alphonse, he needed that type of like, he needed some stuff that she has in her weapon, in his weapon, to just make him stand out, because even when he hits his special, it's still just not enough. So I don't know, man, damage output wise, even a lot of units are like not even there, not even close to what they need to be to take out even something like, even someone like Hector. Attuned Hector is, even though he's a far save, he works, as you've seen the other match, he works very well as a frontliner. You can probably even give him near save and he'll work really well there as well. He just hits so hard in retaliation that
they will submit.
Blows up most stuff, man. It's I don't know. Give me nukes. Give me nukes, Sayed. I want some nukes to be able to blow stuff up. It's really annoying.
I'll protect you.
And you can't even like you want to have Hearthfulger warp in, but barricade. Gatekeeper is going to be pretty much everywhere. Not actual Gatekeeper, but his effects. So I don't know, man. We're heading towards the past seal, I want to say, or past attune skill, echo skill, one of the two of them. That's the only way I see us, you know, being able to survive with so much warp inhibitors being all over the place. I didn't expect to see so many Hectors, man. Like, Hector is just so, like, everywhere.
I can do this. Have faith.
Man, it's tough. It's getting really tough in terms of just being able to take out these bulky units.
I can do this.
I don't like it. But yeah, man, I'm hoping the next refined batch gives us something nuts, unexpectedly so. I don't know. They haven't announced who the units are going to be yet, so I mean, we got a couple more days to see what that's looking like. But I'm really hoping that they give us something insane from that refined batch, because it is currently kind of tough. The only reason that Ether Raids is like playable or like not so hard these days is because everyone in the lower tiers, or everyone doesn't have an updated defense with all the newest units, so you're not seeing it consistently. Because if you were, it really would change the the units that you would be using on
submit.
offense. It would limit the amount of teams that you could build on offense as well, because I feel like the only way I'm able to kill things these days is with Ninja Lucina, Swap, Detect, her Spectrum. It's such a big part of, just being able to put out damage. You'd think that exposure would be enough, but a lot of times it isn't, which is bizarre. But that's really just where we are currently. I'm just happy that everyone isn't running Hector and Tree Man on defense, because otherwise I don't think we'd be able to get through. We'd be burning through a lot more ladders if that was the case. Almost done here. Gotta figure out how to get the pots. Should be able to, and then we have a ton of options to be able to take out Ike. Not too worried about that. Just have to make sure that he doesn't get too close and accidentally snipe a unit. Yeah, this is good. I think I got a play here. Oh, side note. Dan. Started Dan. It is actually really, really good. It's really, I think I've gone through like 2 episodes so far. It's really just as good as I thought it was going to be. Also, recently finished
Close your eyes.
Bang. Is it Brave? Bang, Braver, something. It's basically Bang Braven, something like that. It's a show about, it's basically Top Gun. It's basically Top Gun meets Independence Day. Tom Cruise in Top Gun meets Will Smith in Independence Day. If you were to combine those 2 movies, that's what Bang Braver is. It's the most homoerotic mecha that I've ever seen in all of my time watching anime. It is so bizarre, but it's a lot of fun. It makes sense. A lot of the stuff that happens, it makes sense, but they didn't really stick the landing with the ending. But if you're bored and you have nothing else to watch, give it a shot. It's okay. GG's. See you in the next one.